In general, though, Black Forest has come around a long way since its first iteration, when this was all broccoli, and we only had a weird corner zones and then one big zone here. So yeah, let's go. Spetsnaz OP, Spetsnaz GIU, all coming around. Iglas moving forward. ADBVK coming in over here. Let's see how it goes. EMP1 and TADBVK coming around from the left side. We have EMP2s rolling forward here, looking hot. As meanwhile down south, this will be the interesting fight. How far will the Spetsnaz get? And what can Tofuk do about it? BMP2s and TADBs trying to get in there. But the two BVKs, thanks to the extra bricks on them and thanks to the extra armor, will outclass them a bit. BMP 1Ps, obviously not as good as BMP3s and BMP2s on the other side. Yeah, Motostralky is there, a bit weaker. Spetsnaz GRU here, trying to get into some position in the front here, trying to get some line of sight onto the enemy, helping out the TADBs, BVKs to find the enemy. Rapira also can be quite helpful. It's a relatively cheap gun and has pretty decent damage output. Ooh, Spetsnaz OP already finding the vehicles of the Rajvetka over here. Oh, one of the Spetsnaz going down to the Rajvetka's AT though. Big loss here for darkneutron. Every Spetsnaz unit you get in this division is worth so much. Losing one here outright, really big mistake there by darkneutron, getting too close. Big micro mistake there by our Australian player. Spetsnaz moving forward. Will get some RPOs onto the enemy here now. This Rajvetka for sure will have to get the hell out of there. Motostralky Medi's pushing forward. The Spetsnaz here outclassing that for now, but BMP2 can chew it up. And the Spetsnaz currently only firing its BKMs, not using its AKSUs, so it's not there fully with its damage output. And the MiG-23 actually being annoying with its strafing. Iglas now getting on target though. Getting one hit. EVK pushing around over here. Will help out here now against the Rajvetka. EVK in the north not pushing deeper. Motostralky's over here also still being somewhat idle. Spetsnaz has to fall back. Oh, a lot of Iglas. Yeah, this MiG-23 is lost. A good kill there for darkneutron. MiG-27 with LGBs coming in for the BVK. BVK smoking just a split second too late. Will be found. Unfortunate loss here for darkneutron. If he would have smoked like half a second earlier, that bomb wouldn't have dropped, and then the MiG-27 would have been would have had to retreat due to the AA missiles, and the BVK would have survived. Mistake there by darkneutron, the second costly one, and a really rough one now for him. Spetsnaz here getting bullied by the BTR, the Spetsnaz OP all dead, so no AT weapons left around here, and the Spetsnaz have to get the hell out of there, but the ADBs now will open up on them, and I'm pretty sure they are gonna die here. Yes, there they go, and this is a rough position now. The whole push here being beaten back. If the second Spetsnaz would have been there, this would have hold out for so much longer. BTR going down, the Rajvetka, for example, would have died instantly, basically. And then Tofuk wouldn't have had any vision on the other units. Would have had a tougher time predicting where exactly they are. Might have had to bring the LGB on top of that instead. It's a pretty disastrous start here for darkneutron. Artillery coming in here for the south as well. And yeah, losses like this, super hard to replace with 119th. MiG-27 coming around. Su-24 HE coming in actually. Investing into bombers at this stage. Interesting choice. Though you can kind of play a Sky Bully deck with 119th as well, but card-wise that's really expensive. So I'm not sure if that's actually the case here. Meanwhile, Spetsnaz GRU still trying to find some line of sight. And yeah, darkneutron might have to switch for a really long-term plan here now. Yeah, first TADU on the battlefield. Might have to play for a game where he just goes turtling in onto his zones and waits for getting the TADU ball on to try to push out of that. For now, still on a +1, so time is there. Just the question is if his units will hold out to hold the front line here. MiG-29 holding the sky. The air warfare should be interesting one as well. There are some potential Su-27s on both sides. It would be interesting to see a matchup between these two. Motostrelki here, moving around to the north. Conkers coming in to try to get into position. ADB and BMP2 pushing forward as well. Whilst we have some TDUs rolling in from the rear here. Tunguska and Iglas coming in, coming along. MiG-29 going for a strafing run. Hitting the Motostrelkis quite nicely. Igla hitting the MiG-29. Getting some damage onto it, but won't shoot it down. Yeah, strafing of fighters by now can deal some decent damage again. So if you find yourself having a fighter and you know the enemy AA is not up to par and they don't have any planes themselves and you don't know what to do with it, strafing enemy ATGMs and so on can be worthwhile again. Whilst Spetsnaz GRU have to fall back. BMP2 attacking here. The BVK. The fire BMP1 versus BMP2 here. Rapira engaging as well. Ooh, BMP1 will go down to the Conquerors. Spetsnaz GRU has to be careful over here. Another TAD-BVK will be brought in. TADU on the way. Iglas on the way as well. As darkneutron doesn't want to get bombed by the LGB MiG-27 again. TADBs will most likely wipe out these Spetsnaz here now. TAD-BVK coming in for Tofuk as well. So TADU has a lot of targets here. But it also outclasses them by a good bit. Having the extra explosive reactive armor, having the 19 frontal armor versus 14 and the TADB at the moment, and also outclassing them by penetration and accuracy. So the TADU here for sure can do some damage. MiG-23 will try to allow the LGB MiG-27 to come in again. Will be pushed back by the AA. ADU smoking off already. You need supply trucks here as darkneutron to keep those smokes coming. As using a tank without smoke here at this stage is risky. Yeah, there we go. ERL on the way. Absolutely necessary. You don't want to move out with these without the smoke. Exactly. Here is the Reaper again. The MiG-27K with its massive laser-guided bombs, which will nuke even a TADU out of existence. MiG-23 versus MiG-29. MiG-29 has the edge here for sure, though not if it flies into enemy coops. But it gets the long-range kill here. MiG-23 going down in flames. Good kill here for darkneutron. Really important, keeping the air superiority as 119th, and he has that at least. But Tofuk now on the +2, catching up in points, so this should be interesting. Rapira number 2 coming along. We'll try to get into a good position here. I'm not sure if this is it though, as the ADBs could easily push it out of there. TO-55's now coming along as well, together with the TAD-BVK. We have a couple of Tunguskas, good couple of Iglas still around as well. Push in the north, pushing onto the Spetsnaz GRU. Pretty expensive recon unit, so you don't want to lose them too easily. The AD-BVK coming along to help out. BMP1 with the ATGM. Not quite finding the kill onto the BMP2 here. Unfortunate for darkneutron, who's keeping up the pressure. Ooh, Su-24 most likely gonna die here. A lot of Iglas, a lot of coops. Igla actually the one who finds the final hit there. Getting the kill onto the onto the Su-24 there. Got the kill at least onto the ground units here, but not really worth it. Motorstrucky Maddie is also finding a great hit on the T-80BVK there. T-80BVK will break line of sight there, will survive 1 hit point. Really important there for Dark Neutron. Can't afford any of these kind of tanks to be lost at the moment, as he still has to get his supportive units onto the battlefield. So tanks are not really replaceable right now. Has 3 tanks here pushing up in the south. So this could be interesting. T-80BVK on the other side. Conquers trying to find a hit here. Not really getting on target though. North completely in the hands of Tofuk, but Tofuk not moving out to try to cut the supply lines or anything like that. So Dark Neutron is fine with giving that up. MiG-29 here though. Has to be careful. Gets hit another time. Will be pushed back. And yeah, another MiG-29 trying to come around. Artillery trying to find the T-80BVK. It did fall back a bit further though. Dark Neutron there was careful. Is out of the impact area. MiG-27K coming around again here. There is a MiG-29 on the other side. And smoke will be popped. So the MiG-27 won't find the target here and will go down. Important kill, even if the MiG-29 goes down now. That is a fine trade that Dark Neutron wants to take any day of the week. And he even gets the MiG-29 out of there. The Coop's out of ammo or not in range. Yeah, both out of ammo actually. So really important kill there by Dark Neutron. Will keep his T-80Us a lot safer from here on out. If he gets all the LGBs, then his T-80Us can play really aggressive in the later part. Tofuk just overtaking Dark Neutron here in points. So Dark Neutron still has a bit for turning this around on the ground. 27 minutes remaining. Still a lot of time and a good amount of space here for him to maneuver around, trying to get himself into that classic T-80U death ball that 119th wants to achieve. The MP3's coming around here now. T-80BVK is pushing forward. The MP3 goes down. More ATGMs coming around from the Conquerors over here. Smoke's coming around. Mi-24 recon helicopter flying forward, trying to find the Motostraki here. Will most likely find the kill there. Not quite yet. But will attack the Conquerors now instead. And that Conquerors is not long for this world most likely. Conquerors goes down. T-80BVK under fire as well. Ooh, that Dark Neutron T-80BVK wants to be careful there. Yeah, the T-80U is what wants to engage first. And it does. Both missing though, as we have a Uragun coming in with some heavy action. Not quite on target though. But gets the Rapira. Mi-24K coming around here as well on the side of Tofuk. Igla not in position right now. Wants to wait out the Uragun for sure before it does any maneuvering like that. T-80B's getting involved. Conqueror's coming around as well. Smoke needs to be popped. Yeah, you don't want to risk your T-80Us and T-80BVKs here as Dark Neutron. Want to get them out of there to resupply with the Ural. Ural luckily survived as well, as the Mi-24K will push back in there. Next Ural truck already on the way. Do we see any more big tanks? Yes, a UD actually entering the battlefield already. Iglas being pushed forward by Tofuk. Conqueror is back into a good spot over here. So T-80BVK has to be careful here. Another T-80U up here, pushing the enemy back slowly. So big combat here. Motorradwetka coming in. Try to get into spots. Infantry over here getting smoked completely. That was a bit risky by Dark Neutron. But on the other side, the artillery park with the Gwozdika and the Uragun is becoming a real thing. Uragun hits of the rockets absolutely massive, as even T-80Us will take significant damage if they get hit by that. So Dark Neutron has to stay somewhat mobile here. Conquerors over here in trouble. Good micro by Tofuk, as T-80U and T-80BVK were rolling down on it. ADB is down here. Being engaged. Good hit by the TADU. Does hit the BMP3 here pretty heavily as well. ADBVK getting involved as well. Conqueror's coming along. ADU not hitting here. UD being involved now as well though. As an SU-25 AT comes along. Oh, smoke not coming out in time. U finally being able to smoke off. SU-25 goes down. Last second smoke there. Gun was already on target. The ATGM. I think Tofuk changed target last second, so that's why that broke off. Because the smoke of the TADBVK was not in time for that. The missile went away before any smoke was out. So I'm not quite sure what that was about, but could have killed the TADBVK there potentially. Switch target to the U, but maybe should have stayed on the TADBVK instead. As the TADUs down here engaging the TADBVK, and Tofuk has to smoke off there. Still on a +1 here for now. Doesn't want to lose that. Has some TADBs and BVs now on the battlefield. Still with no real losses here, but the BMP3 in trouble. That one gets popped. 90-point unit as well, so for sure not for free. The Gwozdika constantly tried to hit the enemy resupplied positions here. And if you kill off all the supply drugs, that's a way to victory against 119th as well. Then you can just attrition them slowly but surely out if they can't repair anymore. So hitting Urals, a real way of impacting these fights as well. The ADBVK of Tofuk will have to move out of here. Gets the +2 at least for a couple of seconds as the TADBVK on the chase here of Dark Neutron left the battlefield. Conquerors pushing forward, getting some damage against the UD, but ATGM's not really doing much damage frontally against this absolute unit. 21 frontal armor. So TADBVK does find the capture here. ATGM hits the target. EMP1 piece moving in. More mortar Strelkies coming around as well. Me-24K will have to be resupplied. Mortar Strelky and RPO moving around here. The north completely silent, so really this open field with its tank battles, with its artillery, is what it's all about. If the Uragan could hit this resupply position here right now, this could be massive. Like, any hit here would be massive. And TADBVKs and TADUs pushing forward. ATGMs moving around, getting some hits. Us and UDs rolling forward. Artillery landing, but it's not the Uragan. And it's not landing in the right spots. Oh, oh my goodness. Unfortunate times here for the Coop battery. And these bombs were quite devastating. Tanks really, really low here now. The plane going super low as well, but it didn't die and it got its payload off. Coops might even have to be falling back here now as the Us push forward. And if they get the Coops, that would be a big loss as well here. The ADBs and BVs will have to fall back. And Tofuk will have to find a new position to play this battle from. And there by now is a pretty sizable amount of heavy tanks on the side of Dark Neutron. It's 4 Us and 1 UD plus 2 TADBVKs. Uragan now coming along, but that's just a bit too late. That would have come when these tanks were fighting. It could have forced repositions, it could have killed off a good couple of supply drugs there. Now it's first of all easy to micro against it, and second of all also the battle already played out, so it's not in support of all of this anymore. The TADBVs still moving along here, Tofuk not microing, as this guy is going back to where it came from. And it's not doing that in a nice way. Actually, even driving rearward. Smoke, due to the Su-25, forces them all back. Good reaction by darkneutron this time around. Getting the MiG-29 out as well. First gets hit, but there's a second one around as well. The Coup's not getting resupplied here, so it actually can't chase the Su-25 all the way to the rear. Trella 10M out of position a bit as well, so the Su-25 does die after all. PMP3s here not really in the spot to find any kills. Meanwhile, TDUs and UDs will open up against the infantry here. Enough infantry being brought around by darkneutron as well, and this looks like 119th might be able to prevail here. After that relatively wonky early game, but important victories in the skies and enough time to recuperate and get the big boys out. And the latest KD for sure heavily in favor of darkneutron with his blue forces here. EDU engaging over here, and yeah, beating these frontally is just nigh impossible. If you really take this direct fight, you are in a bad spot. Autostralki's trying to move around here. BTR 60 pushing forward. EDB getting hit on the U. But it, as I said, frontally it doesn't really do anything, and yeah, Tofuk really gave in to darkneutron wanting to fight here. Like, in my eyes, using the advantage that you have here, you need to push through the cracks, like coming in here into the town, coming through the mountains, just be super obnoxious, hit them in short ranges. Like, if you get close enough, even a TADB does massive damage to a TADU. When its gun is close enough, obviously flanks even better. And if you just fight a direct frontal assault like this, it's not going to be in your favor. You might even have to surrender open spaces to the enemy, but just play around and get 3 zones and win it that way. Yeah, the 119th, especially if it takes early losses like that, usually isn't as maneuverable, but that's not what happened. Tofuk did go into this open field fight, maybe thinking that he could overrun the first couple of TADUs and TADBVKs showing up, and then just keep on pushing with a big enough number of TADBVKs and TADBs, but that didn't quite happen, and he got himself into a war of attrition that he just couldn't win, and it looks like, yeah, here we go, darkneutron has this one now. GGVP, really interesting game 1 here. Yes, the early game really didn't look that good for darkneutron, but in the end, yeah, TDUs just refused to die. Good kills on the air when he needed them, like the one on the Su-25s and the MiG-27K, and that really turned this game around 180 degrees.